Everyone has an image of America. A land of big shops and bright lights. Of asphalt highways stretching right across the continent. But there's another America, and I'm going to find it. Dotted around this nation's shores are many thousands of islands that also fly the stars and stripes. To discover them, I'm going on a 10,000-mile island-hopping journey, looping around the USA from west to east.
Really beautiful.
From Hawaii's islands of fire to Alaska's islands of snow and ice. From California's secret marine paradise
This is so unbelievable.
to the people playgrounds off the New England coast. Along the way, I'll see nature at her most spectacular. I'll encounter the animals that inhabit these far-flung places.
Oh, hello. Oh, boy. There's my first white shark.
And I'll be meeting people who live in their own sea-bound worlds.
I knew I was going to be good at this.
Each with their own identity.
I'll find the deep spots for you.
Thank you.
And their own unique story.
So if you want to see a different USA, come with me and discover the islands of America.
These are the San Juan Islands in Washington State, just off America's northwest Pacific coast. There are more than 100 islands, mostly uninhabited. But even out here, on the very edge of America, there are incredible stories to tell. I've traveled nearly 1,500 miles here from Alaska. And my starting off point is Orcas Island, from where there's really only one way to explore this frontier territory.
Let's get her down here.
Wow. Was she actually...
I'm meeting Stuart McPherson. He's a dentist by day, but his real passion is his 1920s biplane, a veteran from the barnstorming days of the flying circus.
And you recreated all the stunts as they were...
Yeah, more or less. None of the crashing, of course.
No.
Stuart prefers to be known as Captain Mac.
What's she made of? Aluminium?
No, the wings are made of wood.
Wood? Wow.
Small planes are a common sight around here, used for everything from the school run to popping to the shops.
Even an old plane like this makes a lot of sense on an island because you're waterlocked. So to get off the island, you either need to take a ferry or an airplane. So they're just like your Volkswagen, your daily transportation.
Oh, well, let's get off the ground, shall we?
Getting my 6'3" frame into the cockpit is a bit of a squeeze, although I like to think that I make it look easy. Max told me I'm in for a treat. But it's just my luck that as we take off, the weather closes in. I'm an okay flyer, but I'm not crazy about heights. So being in a bumpy, open cockpit in the cold and wet isn't ideal.
Now let it get up to about 1,500 feet over the channel.
It didn't seem appropriate to ask Mac to stop, even if he could hear me. But as I look out, even through my tears, I can see that it's a very beautiful view. The San Juans are known as the Disputed Islands. They're so close to the US-Canada border, it's hard to judge where one country ends and the other begins. And down below me on the most populated island, San Juan, crowds are gathering for America's biggest national holiday, the 4th of July, Independence Day. Since 1776, Americans have celebrated their freedom with gusto. And on this island, it's a big deal.
It's all about having fun and making people smile.
Maybe because San Juan was the scene of America's last war with her former colonial master, Britain.
Oh, they're going to shoot me because I'm English.
And bizarrely, the conflict kicked off because of a pig. To find out more about the pig war, I'm meeting local historian Robin Jacobson.
In 1859, an American citizen shot a British pig in the potato patch owned by the Americans. There was a disagreement over how much to pay for the pig, and then both countries kind of got up into arms, and both of them sent troops here.
Right.
It was kind of a standoff that lasted about 13 years.
13 years?
I know, it's so strange, isn't it? Yeah. None of these soldiers actually wanted to fight each other. They got along very well. No one died except for the pig.
Okay, good. I like this war.
Yeah. Ever since we've been celebrating that the pig war was actually a war that didn't happen.
At the height of the pig war, there were well over 1,000 American and British troops stationed here, the British flexing their imperial might, the Americans jealously guarding their independence. Only in 1872 did the troops finally lay down their arms. And today, islanders remain proud of their unique place in history.
Do you think that independence means something else on this island? It's sort of an added independence.
That independent spirit, I think, is still pretty strong. If we're going to go to the mainland, we just jokingly say, yeah, we're going to go to America.
There you are. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Listen, you know, if the independence thing isn't working out for you guys, the door's always open. We don't bear grudges.
Well, we appreciate that.
More than 150 years after the pig war, casualty one pig, the British Army camp still survives. It was built here at Garrison Bay on the site of a former Native American settlement. Much of the base remains, including a rather pretty herb and flower garden, originally planted, the story goes, to cheer up a homesick officer's wife. It's hard to believe that so many battle-hardened troops were stationed here, but the serenity of San Juan must have won out. The so-called enemies spent more time picnicking with each other than fighting, and they even celebrated Independence Day together.
Gosh! Hey!
My 4th of July draws to a close with a spectacular fireworks display. A traditional finale to the Independence Day celebrations. Tomorrow I'll be moving on again, heading 60 miles south to an island with a very different vibe.
That was amazing!
Just off the coast of Seattle lies my next stop. Another island proud of its independent spirit. Vashon Island. Vashon can only be reached by ferry, and most islanders prefer it that way. They like having a natural barrier to mainland America. Like much of the West Coast, Vashon was settled by colonists in the 19th century, drawn to its fertile soil and rich woodlands. My guide here is local entrepreneur Susie Gress. Susie spent many a happy summer here as a child and now lives full-time on the island.
So your mum lived here and you used to come and stay with her?
Yeah, growing up here, I thought, oh, big deal, lots of trees. But now I realize what a special place it is.
Really?
It's so beautiful. When you've been to Seattle and fighting traffic, crowded streets, as soon as you hit the ferry dock, all of a sudden you smell the salt air and all your cares drop off your shoulders. It's one reason I would never leave.
Just like the island's original settlers, Susie runs a farm tucked away amid the forest. But there's rather more to her than meets the eye.
Come on up and see the barn, Martin.
Wow.
Welcome to where the magic happens, Martin. What do you think?
When you said you had a farm, I sort of imagined fields and things like this. Not... Oh my goodness. Oh my word.
Susie runs Vashon Velvet,
It's extraordinary.
a business growing cannabis on an industrial scale.
Oh wow, look at the colours. That's not the lights, is it?
No.
It is that colour.
It is. This is called blueberry sapphire. Looks like autumn, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Back home, growing this much weed would see you put behind bars. But here in Washington state, cannabis was legalized in 2012, making it one of the very first places in the US where you're allowed to get high.
This is Rude Boy, one of our new
Rude
strains,
Boy.
right?
Each cannabis plant contains over 500 different chemicals, and Susie's developed distinct strains, each with their own special characteristics.
What sort's this?
This is our Canasutra, Martin, that I think you'll really enjoy. Tends to be very sexually arousing. So can I pack some up for you to take home?
What are you suggesting?
Come and see Acapulco Gold. I think you'll like this one.
But be warned though, some of her plants can be
wow.
mind-boggling.
It has such a crazy high, it's almost like LSD.
Oh, is it?
Take a whiff. I love that smell. It smells like a gas station in the middle of a lemon grove.
I'm getting a bit of lemon.
Are you getting the diesel?
I'm not quite getting the diesel. I'm not there yet.
You're gonna wear out my plants.
Sorry. Sorry, mate. Well, how did you get going with this? Why?
My husband had died, and when that happens, it kind of pulls the rug out from under you. You know, all the plans that we had for retirement go up in smoke, and I realized I had to start a new life. The state came out with its rules for how to get a license to grow marijuana, and I thought, I like gardening, and what the heck? I think I'll try it, see how it goes. And I've been happier than I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
Looking for work in your off time? We could use another trimmer.
Oh, really?
More than half of US states now allow marijuana's medicinal use, though most still regard its recreational use as a crime, classifying it as an addictive, dangerous drug. But here on Vashon, 3 out of 4 islanders backed a more liberal approach. As long as you're 21, you can buy cannabis openly. Susie sells much of hers at a state-licensed store on Vashon's High Street.
I'm getting a whiff now.
Even though it's packaged, it comes through.
Wow.
I never imagined that cannabis could be sold in so many forms. From traditional joints to skincare, cannabis cookies to soft drinks.
What tickles your fancy? We have hard candy, soft candy.
It's just everything.
It's really amazing how normal it is to walk into a store like this that a few years ago you would have been in jail for.
And for some customers, this store is changing lives. Ashley suffers from severe back pain after a car accident.
I'm not from here. I was living on the East Coast. I'm
And where
basically
you
a
in-
medical refugee.
Oh, you are? You literally,
Yeah.
because it wasn't legal where you
Yeah,
were.
it wasn't legal. It was not legal in Georgia. I deal with chronic pain on a daily basis, so cannabis is my lifesaver.
Well, you hear this all over and over again that it's a brilliant painkiller, is it? And
Yeah.
it's not making you stoned.
It's not making me stoned at all.
At all?
I can function normally. I have 2 kids, and they don't notice, really, other than I'm happier.
Because I've heard people talk about smoking too much cannabis and getting sort of paranoid and getting into, and you don't get any of that.
Yeah, sometimes people get paranoid, but I don't have that problem myself,
we
and I
all
smoke
smoke?
quite a bit.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I smoke quite a bit, yeah.
Memory loss?
No.
And what about memory loss?
I don't have any problems there.
Last year, Washington State took over $300 million in tax from cannabis stores like this one. More than it earns from alcohol. Those figures are extraordinary, and the sheer number of customers has taken me by surprise. The pot business may divide opinion, but in this land of opportunity, cannabis has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. The hippie dream has always burned bright along America's west coast. And everything feels pretty chilled out here on Vashon. While not everyone approves of the island's cannabis culture, so long as it's regulated and policed properly, it's probably not going to go away. Los Angeles in California. With a population of over 4 million, it's one of America's biggest and most glamorous cities. All bronzed bodies, biceps, and beautiful beaches. But just out across the Pacific is a very different America, of which most of us are oblivious. I've traveled from Seattle down America's west coast to visit the Channel Islands National Park. Known as America's Galapagos because of their unique wildlife. It's just a short hop by plane from LA, but it feels like a journey to a lost world. The Channel Islands have relatively few visitors. And that isolation from man has proved to be good news for their animal inhabitants. The islands brim with life. Birds crowd the cliffs. And the beaches are packed with vast colonies of seals and sea lions. I've landed on San Miguel Island to see some of the extraordinary wildlife for myself. The landscape might look barren, but I can already sense the energy of the natural world around me.
There's an incredible phenomenon that everywhere you turn your head, I haven't seen any yet, but I can hear the sound of seals or sea lions, because my ears are at right angles to my head. I only hear what's straight ahead. So everywhere I turn, there's a different bunch of them making a different set of sounds. Can't wait to see them.
It's not long before I get my first glimpse.
Now you can see where all the noise has been coming from. That beach there is just littered. I don't know if they're seals or sea lions. Hundreds of them, like big dirty tourists overcrowding a beach. Sunbathing. Living the dream.
Dr. Tony Orr is a conservationist.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing?
Doing good. Welcome to San Miguel.
Thank you very much. It's great to see these guys, because from the interior of the island, all you can hear is this barking, but you can't see where it's coming from. Nice to put a face to the bark.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of them down there, so let's go take a look.
Yeah, cool.
San Miguel Island is home to well over 100,000 seals and sea lions.
What do you think?
Oh my word.
It's one of the world's largest colonies, and I'm here at the peak of breeding season. The beach is packed with newborn pups, protective mothers, and aggressive territorial males. And it's not just bolshy seals that we have to watch out for.
Here comes the gulls.
We also have to run a gauntlet of gulls who have newborn chicks of their own, and dive bomb anyone who comes too close to them.
Oh, there's a chick right there, so we'll go around it.
Wow.
All right, welcome to the Movable Blind. So what we'll do is we'll get in,
Right.
and we'll just head straight to the beach crest, and
they won't
they'll
mind
allow
at
you-
all.
They won't.
Apparently, the seals don't have very good eyesight,
You come on in and then lock the door behind you.
and the best way to get up close to them, unobserved, is to climb into this sand-coloured wooden box. It's appropriately named the Mobile Blind. Let's hope they can't see us.
So we'll go nice and slow.
Okay.
On the left here is where you have a group of breeding
Oh,
animals.
he's a big fella.
Yes, he is.
It's so funny to be so close and kind of semi-invisible in this Dad's Army prop rickety box on wheels. Purpose-built sealmobile. Pretty smelly too, aren't they?
There they are. There he is.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of animals
Right
here.
smack in the middle of them all. It's a real privilege. Thank
It's
you.
a good place to watch the show. You've got comedy, you got drama, action, romance. Got it all here. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Whoa.
Oh, watch this. Yeah.
Oh, they move so fast, don't
They
they?
are. They're very quick.
Conditions here on San Miguel are ideal. A wide sandy beach, abundant food, and apart from our box on wheels, no pesky tourists to disturb the peace.
Oh, look at the tiny ones. Sounds like a little lamb. They're adorable, aren't
Yeah.
they? Quite nice to give that little one a cuddle, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh. He's telling us off, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. Oi, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Could you get up, please?
Tap
Excuse
the
me.
blind a little bit.
Could you look? Thank you. Got it. That is a seal feed. Thanks very much, mate. That was a good seal feed.
San Miguel Island is over 25 miles offshore. And this remoteness has created a unique ecosystem. Plant and animal species have evolved here which can be found nowhere else on Earth. The diminutive island fox is one of them. This evening, I'm joining Ranger Stacey Baker, setting fox traps as part of a remarkable conservation program.
There's even a little fox trail, so somebody goes in this ravine. We can set the first one there.
Which is the front, which is the back?
So this is the front of the trap.
Okay, and
you
that
can have
facing
the-
down?
Yeah.
What's the bait you put in?
We bait the traps with a mix of dog and cat kibble, and then we also use a loganberry lure. But it's pretty strong, so that'll get them to the trapping
Wow.
area.
Trapper's choice for the stink you really want. I would have thought a fox would go for meat or something
They're omnivorous so, and opportunistic. They'll eat pretty much whatever they can out here, fruit, insects, mice.
Oh, I see. Well, they survive. I mean, if they're anything like the foxes back in England, they are. I mean, they're in towns. They smoke. Some of them have mopeds. They're, you know, they're real survivors.
Yeah, they do pretty well.
Yeah.
So to set the trap, we pull this little hook on the edge, and so fox walks in, hits the treadle, and
Got it.
lid goes down.
And how many traps have you got out?
We're going to set 10 traps by the end of the day.
God, I hope we see one.
Once we've set our traps, it's a matter of waiting until tomorrow to find out whether our trapper's choice bait has enticed a fox or not. Early the next morning, we set out to check our fox traps. And the signs look promising.
Oh, hello, little fella. Oh, hello. Oh, Foxy. Oh, sweetheart. Hello, mate. Oh, look how nice he is. Hey, Foxy.
Here, watch your fingers. Pull him out of the trap.
Oh, little fella. That's female.
Yep.
Hello, baby.
This fox has been caught before. She already has a tracking collar and an identity tag.
An active collar. And so the first thing we'll do is identify the fox. So this is our pit tag reader, and we'll just scan along the back, and it picked up the tag. So she was caught last year as a yearling, so she's about 2 years old.
Right, yeah.
Little cat mask. I'll put that on them. So we want to check for parasites. They can get fleas and ticks out here.
Really want to tickle her tummy.
Oh, might not like that. And then we'll do a quick comb for fleas. Yep, no fleas detected.
Well done.
Yeah, she's doing well.
Whoop.
All right, let her go.
Bye-bye, baby. Up she goes.
This female's in good shape, but for many years the island fox was under grave threat. Golden eagles had begun nesting on the island and had hunted the foxes to the brink of extinction. Just 15 survived here.
So in 1999, the park rounded up the last 15, just captured them, put them in a protective pen so that they couldn't get eaten by eagles. And then once they had captured all of the golden eagles and removed them from the island, then the foxes were able to be released. And the numbers came back up over the years, and now they've reached pre-decline levels, you know, anywhere from 200 to 300 foxes on average.
That just shows you what survivors foxes are. They're...
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible success story.
The next trap has even more proof of this success.
This looks like one of this year's pups.
Oh, wow.
This is a real tiny pup.
Oh, little baby. Hello, sweetheart.
A very young, untagged pup.
Oh, my gosh. So he's like a year?
Just a few months.
A few months?
Yeah, he's... So, let's get...
Everything about him looks young, doesn't it? His little arms and legs. Yeah.
He's tiny.
He is tiny.
The mask might barely fit him.
So she can track this new addition to the island's fox population, Stacey's fitting a microchip beneath the pup's skin.
Well, that was nicely done, because I didn't even see him squirm there.
So there we go. It says the tag has been read.
Oh, there you go, fella. Is that him done? Good to go?
Yeah, he's good to go.
Little man. Bye-bye.
All right, so for release, just set him that way. All right, there you go. Come on.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh, God, he's tiny.
It seems remarkable that the Channel Islands are so close to California, yet remain largely unknown. This is an extraordinary place. Quite simply a natural wonder. I've left the remarkable wildlife of the Channel Islands behind. And I've come to Louisiana in the deep south, a low-lying region crisscrossed by slow-moving waterways, or bayou. It's a 2,000-mile journey across the states to Avery Island. Avery sits inland from the Gulf of Mexico, rising 150 feet above the surrounding bayou. The island's home to one of America's most successful family-run businesses, Tabasco chili sauce. Chili peppers were first planted here over 150 years ago by Tabasco's founder, Edmund McElhenney, a former banker with a love of hot sauce. These plants are all descendants of Edmund's original batch, and the sauce they produce has got some notable admirers.
Oh, look at that, you've got the Queen's, what's it? How fantastic. That must be quite rare for an American company, isn't it?
Companies are really proud of that.
Yeah, I bet. Thank you very much.
I'm a huge chili sauce fan.
Wow, I'm getting the smell already.
I even make my own at home, so a chance to see behind the scenes of Tabasco feels like a pilgrimage.
What? Oh, look at all the bottles.
Yeah.
My guide, Elias Landry, grew up on the island and dedicated over 35 years to making chili sauce. Elias is taking me to the bottling room. It's busy and noisy, but boy, it makes an impression.
These machines are vacuum fillers. It's sauce from upstairs. They pump the air out of the bottles, replaces it with sauce.
Mesmerizing, isn't it?
Yeah. These lines are capable of running 300 bottles a minute.
All trotting through like good little soldiers here, look. Come on, boys.
Next we have an automatic capper that puts the cap on each bottle.
When Tabasco was founded in 1868, one of its very first orders was for around 600 bottles of sauce, sold in discarded cologne bottles.
Can I touch them?
During my visit, this high-tech production line will churn out well over 600,000 bottles in just one day.
And then these ladies are checking the quality control.
Yeah.
Tabasco has proved a global hit. It's sold in over 185 different countries.
South Africa.
It should be the whole order.
That whole line, South Africa. Where's that one going? That's going to Belgium. Germany.
Yeah.
Germany. Nigeria. Nigeria and Senegal. I can't, I'm so excited. Just to see it all come literally down a line.
Yeah.
And all of these bottles in everyone's homes all around the world all took that little journey there.
Yeah. We've been doing it like this for 150 years.
Amazing.
Tabasco may be a modern global business, but it's still made in a traditional way. Just chili peppers mashed with a little salt and vinegar, and, to give extra colour and flavour, aged in whiskey barrels for up to 3 years. Managing Director Tony Simmons is the great-great-grandson of the company's founder.
Ha! Holy moly. Holy hot sauce. Look at that.
That's about 66,000 barrels of Tabasco mash aging.
So in a normal barrel of mash, how many bottles?
About 10,000 bottles per barrel. It's a lot of Tabasco.
There's enough mashed pepper here to fill 660 million bottles, about $1 billion worth. Tabasco's turnover is as eye-watering as the hot sauce itself.
So Martin, what we're looking at is 2 barrels of Tabasco pepper mash. And this is mash that we've aged for up to 3 years, and now we would be ready to make Tabasco. You measure heat in food in what's called Scoville units.
That's it, yeah.
The regular red Tabasco has a Scoville rating of between 2,500 and 5,000. This mash would be somewhere between 35,000 and 50,000 Scoville units.
So we don't, I'm not going to taste this, am I?
If you want to, I will. I do it every day.
Do you?
The way I taste it, Martin, is to take it and put it on the tip of my tongue and hold it there, and then I spit it out because it's almost too hot to eat. But you'll taste salt out on the edges of your tongue where you taste salt, and about the time you say this isn't that bad, the heat will come at the back of your throat.
That's exactly the timing. I was just thinking, actually, this is delicious. And then it hits you.
For anyone who's willing to try Tabasco mash, we have a spoon here. So for courage under fire.
What, I just won that?
You just won that.
Yes.
For tasting the mash.
Oh, thank you for that. This day's just going to get better and better, isn't it? Thank you.
But yeah, it's strong.
Yeah.
But when you cook Tabasco, the heat cooks out.
Yeah,
What stays is flavor.
Yeah, I keep telling my wife that, so I put it in when she's not looking.
Yeah.
Oh, don't use that bit.
For 150 years, Avery Island has thrived. But just along the coast, Louisiana's island communities are being washed away. Destroyed by climate change, rising sea levels, and violent weather. In August 2005, the full force of nature's power swept across the state. Hurricane Katrina flooded the region's largest city, New Orleans. Over 1,500 people lost their lives. 1 million were left homeless. More than 10 years on, over $20 billion has been spent building new flood defenses, dubbed the Great Wall of Louisiana. But as I approach the impressive floodgates, one of over 200 gates that'll shut in the event of another hurricane, I can't help but think of those who now find themselves living on the wrong side of the wall.
There's a lot of dead trees this side of the wall, whereas the other side of the wall, they all look quite healthy. All these plots must have had houses on them. The driveway and the infrastructure's all there. Wow. The river here is only 2 foot short of the bank. It wouldn't take much to flood over. See, everyone's built their houses on stilts, or they're just in mobile homes where they can leg it. Oh, look at this one. Right up on stilts. But you wonder if a hurricane came through, it might just knock that over, right? See what we'll do.
I'm heading to Delacroix Island to meet a local fisherman, Thomas Gonzalez, whose family have lived here for generations.
You sort of think, well, why live here? But I suppose people want to live where they live, don't they? I don't know. I guess Thomas will have a view on that.
Delacroix was settled by Spanish immigrants in the late 18th century. Islanders made their living from the water, catching shrimp, crab and turtle, or from the surrounding land, hunting for mink, otter and muskrat for their fur. With so much on their doorstep, the people of Delacroix flourished. When these images were taken in the mid-20th century, the island had over 400 homes. Today, only 34 people live here. 80-year-old Thomas was born here during the island's heyday.
How young were you when your dad first started taking you out?
Me?
Nothing.
Almost
Just
in
like-
diapers.
Yeah.
I was so small. We used to fish trout, and they used to tie me to that post so the fish wouldn't pull me overboard. That's how big I was. I'm still a little guy. I never did grow up. I just got older. This is where the school used to be.
Wow.
All along here they had houses. Right here they had a ballroom and everything right there.
Wow.
Thomas's island community is being wiped off the map. Land is vanishing here at an alarming rate. Each year, Louisiana loses 75 square kilometers to erosion and rising sea levels.
When I was a kid, this was all land. When I was a young boy, but all of that was land. It's all gone. Keep washing, more and more away.
It's really hard to imagine there was land and buildings there, isn't it? You look at it now.
Year for year, less and less land. Water just destroyed. They don't understand that. These people from the concrete jungle don't understand it. What water can do.
Out here with Thomas, it's hard to believe anyone could doubt the reality of climate change. Yet, like generations before him, Thomas still makes his living from the water. Today he's fishing for crabs with his son Tommy.
See, that's
That's how you measure them.
Yep, to sell them, it's got to be 6 1/4.
That way, yeah, about 4, 5.
There's plenty of blue crab here.
6.
And a good income for Thomas and Tommy to make, albeit a hard one. They typically start work at 4 a.m.
Now you think you got enough.
Back home, Thomas has invited me to share lunch with his wife Joan and their family.
Y'all want beer, water, what?
I'd love a beer, thank you.
We're having a traditional Cajun dish, crab boil, which you'll be surprised to hear is crab, boiled, albeit with sausage, veg and spices.
Do you just eat the legs of the crab, or do you get in there?
No,
you get in the bone.
The body of the crab.
Yeah, let me show you.
Open it up.
Break it open.
Mm.
Good stuff, huh?
Mm. Mm. Oh, that's really good. Beautiful. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
It's the same thing with this side.
It's real activity food, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta work for it.
Tommy's moved his family behind the wall. But despite all their difficulties, his parents are determined to stay.
Oh, I kind of.
They live in a house on stilts, 17 feet up in the air. Though during the last major flood, that was only just high enough.
This was after the water went down some. We had 14 feet of water in here.
Oh my God.
Took that?
It took the second floor out.
Yeah. All of this was
This
gone.
was gone.
This is 17 where we at.
Right.
And it was 14, so we didn't have much more for it to get to the trailer up there.
How fast was the wind?
That's what's so weird about it. It wasn't such a strong hurricane to do, but it did a lot.
Do you worry about the future here?
Yeah, it's because we don't know how long we're going to be here when it all washes away with the land disappearing. So we just live day to day and year to year and see what happens.
And that's the problem we had.
Unlike Thomas and Joan, many islanders have had enough. Their homes now left empty and abandoned.
I was born and raised here. From hurricane to hurricane, it keeps going.
You're talking like you think there's going to be another hurricane.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get many more.
Really?
Because you don't have nothing out there. When I was a young kid, we had barriers, we had land out there. Miles of land out there. That's not there no more.
Well, what about that wall down the road? What do you make of that?
That wall?
Yeah.
I see another hurricane come in like Betsy gonna knock it down.
So you don't think it's going to work? You don't think it's going to work? Really? Wow.
With 150-mile-an-hour wind, that tidal wave that's coming with it. Ain't nothing could have stand it.
And what about the state, the government? Do you feel like they're...
The government?
Whoop.
Man, you hit the worst thing of all.
So what's going to happen?
What's gonna happen? I don't know. I love it here. This is a freedom of life. I'm my own boss, go when I want, come home when I want. That's my freedom.
You're happy?
Right, I'm like that little duck flying south and don't give a quack. That's it.
I've enjoyed spending time with Thomas and his family, but I can't help but be worried for them. And for the dwindling island that they call home. Water gave this community life, but ultimately, that water may also prove the death of it. Next time, I'll be strutting my stuff to salsa.
I'm like a dancing sponge.
Yes?
Netting fish the traditional way.
Fish.
And getting up close to the world's most famous pony swim.
You can see the poles in that.